I'm joined by Lenora James, a Veteran Service caseworker with the American Legion. Lenora, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Lenora, how long have you been with the American Legion?
A little over 2 years.
Okay. Have you ever served in the military?
No, not myself, but I'm the wife of a Navy veteran and the mother of a Coast Guard veteran. I've had lots of family members that served.
Well, thank you for your family service. And with Project VetRelief with the American Legion, can you tell me a little bit what that particular program provides for the veterans in the community?
Project VetRelief has been around about 9 years. We provide rent, mortgage, utilities assistance, and in some unique situations, transportation and health services.
Okay, and how do you qualify?
Basically, you qualify. It's an application-based process. There are criteria that you meet, specifically 120 days residency. You also have to meet a military discharge status of general or also of honorable, as well as you do need to show sustainability and proof of a hardship. We obtain the information through supporting documentation to support your application.
So it's more of a hand up than a hand out.
Correct.
All right. And do they have to contact any other organizations as well for help that they may need other than the American Legion? Is that part of the criteria?
They may need to contact Veteran Services to help them get some of the paperwork, like their DD2, try to get their DD214, that sort of thing. Some veterans sometimes have misplaced it. They may need to go with their social worker at the VA to try to obtain some of those documents. But most of the documents they'll be able to is readily available to them.
And this is a one-time assistance program per individual, or could they come back again under mitigating circumstances?
It's typically a one-time only assistance program. In rare situations, there may be a situation where we may assist again, but most of the time it's a one-time only. The hope is that we can help the veteran maintain sustainability and that they can be ongoing and point them in the direction to get ongoing help. Because we're not primarily an ongoing assistance. We don't have funds for that nature, but we can help them get the funds they need to ongoing support them.
Right. It's very important, because if somebody comes and gets support from you this month and they don't have a job or anything, then next month it could be reoccurring and stuff like that. So
right.
What programs do you channel them to for resources, so they once the support that you provide for them, what do you channel them to so they can get additional support and resources as they move on?
So in a lot of cases, we talk to the veterans about, looking at if they have a service connection type injury or something like that, that they need to go to Veteran Services, that it may need to be upgraded, or if they've never received any kind of stipend or funds for it, we may work with them to go to the Veteran Services through the counties to help them get established or help them do appeals. In certain situations, we may send them to Social Security. We may send them to other organizations to help them with their ongoing assistance, HUD-VASH, SSVF, programs like that.
Okay. And when you assist a particular veteran, let's say, for instance, a veteran gets injured on the job, and he'll be out of work for 2 months, and it's a loss of income for mortgage payment or rent payment. Would Project VetRelief cover both of those payments, or would it just be one payment?
It's one payment.
Okay.
Because of the funding cap that we have to be really conscientious about how much we're spending per case. And that's why it's so important that we have the community support us, because
Exactly.
the more dollars we can the more dollars that we get in, the more dollars we can provide. But no, most of the time, it's a one-time only assistance for the life of the case. That's typically how we've been doing it. Now, we do have another portion of the program called Suicide Prevention Initiatives, where we partner with different other organizations, and we sponsor veterans to get assistance through those programs. But mostly those are sort of mental health programs, enrichment programs, those types of programs.
Okay. And is there any particular support that Project Vet Relief has for the youth of that particular veteran? Let's say, for instance, if the person's out of work for childcare for that month, or example, or something like that, would they assist in that?
Not necessarily for childcare, because specifically we used the funding buckets for shelter costs like the rent or the mortgage or utilities. If they have an exorbitant cost, we may use that bill as their hardship to help pay for the mortgage or the rent in place of that, what they spent for that bill. So if they had a high cost for childcare or something like that, we may offset it by way of paying their rent for that month.
Well, I appreciate the oversight that you have as far as validation of the individuals that are coming for care, because sometimes I've been in the community and I've seen how certain people might go to one post and then to another post to receive funds, but they're not really doing anything to help themselves, so it can be reoccurring. So I like the check and balance that you have. Can you tell me what is so meaningful to you as far as working and being with Project Vet Relief, your position?
So I think what's been sort of at the core of why I do it and how I keep going
Yes.
is really more so about just my desire to help folks. Early in my 20s, I worked for various different governmental agencies supporting individuals in the community. So I've always wanted to give back. This gives me, working with Project Vet Relief gives me the ability to give back, particularly to a populace or a part of our community that has given so much. So for me to be able to help someone, to hear them, come back and let me know how they were able to make it over and to continue ongoing sustainability, it just warms my heart, because I know that veteran has a place to stay that night and, is going to be okay.
Oh, it's important, because you're changing lives, and you're giving them the opportunity to help themselves. That's the main thing, not a handout, but to help them particular selves. And where does the funding come from?
Most of it is, 100% of it is donated funds. It comes through our American Legion post. The American Legion itself provides us the administrative structure to set up, but primarily we get most of our funding through our community, our larger community, different programs that the Post will offer or provide, a lot of raffles and those types of programs that brings in dollars in the door to help us. Most of the time if people would like to donate, we send them to our website, www.projectvetrelief.org, and there's plenty of information there to be shared where they would like, if they'd like to give to the program.
Well, Lenora, I want to thank you so much for what you're doing at Project Vet Relief and what the American Legion is doing for our veterans and their local families. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Fred. It's a pleasure being here.
You're welcome, ma'am. Project Vet Relief is an excellent example of how American Legion helps serve our veterans. Veterans Day 2023 was marked as a special ceremony here in Orange County. See the highlights when we come back.